Phil Galfond was born on January 16, 1985 in Rockville, Maryland, and he grew up in Gettysburg, also in Maryland. Galfond has once described his childhood as normal and happy. According to him, he was a poor student while in school, even though he claimed to have tested well and passed with straight B's in spite of his low level of motivation in school. While growing up, Phil Galfond was very fond of playing football and video games, and these were part of his happy childhood. During an interview, he also revealed that he played quite a lot of Diablo. At some point, he went into tennis and soccer before he became obsessed with football. He began to play card games for real money at the age of 12. He developed a keen interest in poker after the World Series of Poker in the year 2003. Phil said he had always loved watching the games of Dutch Boyd. During his senior year in high school, he teamed up with a close friend and began to play online blackjack in addition to some other online poker games. A year after this period, he got enrolled at the University of Wisconsin with the intention to major in philosophy. During his freshman years, one of his friends boasted of winning a party poker tournament and earned $30,000. According to Galfond, this news really piqued his interest and it opened his eyes to the great potentials inherent in poker. To learn more about poker, he began to read books and to equip himself with the knowledge and skill he needed to start off on a good footing in the world of poker. Top among the books he read during this period include Hold'em for Advanced Players. After reading the book, he made his first deposit of $50 at Party Poker and started playing in $10 sit-and-go games. As with many newbies in the world of poker, he quickly lost his initial deposit of $50 and then made another deposit of $50, and from this point on, he began to build his bankroll. He turned his second deposit of $50 into $250, which is actually less than a blind in many of his current games. However, at the age of 19 and struggling with life as a college student, this was huge for him. During his sophomore year, Phil thought of applying for a part-time job to get help and make his ends meet. However, when he decided to study his then statistics at the online poker platform, he discovered that he was making about $30 per hour while playing poker. He realized that poker was actually the best part-time job that he needed. Phil was a learner and he was seeking ways to become better at what he did. In a bid to increase his skills and understanding of online poker, he decided to hire Emil Whitelame Patel as a poker coach for the purpose of training him to become a better professional at online poker. He also decided to choose Peter Jetton as a mentor. He also went for Tom Dwan and Andrew Roble as mentors. However, Phil reportedly said that the best learning for him was the experience of playing daily at the online platform. Suffice to mention that by the beginning of Galfond's junior year, he had lost interest in college. He made up his mind to take off a semester after he turned 21, and that was exactly what he did. At 21, he became eligible to play at the World Poker Tour and the World Series of Poker events. This was a turning point for Phil Galfond. In January of 2006, he played at the Jack Binion World Series of Poker circuit. This was just a few days after he turned 21. He finished in 18th place and made a winning of $22,900. In spite of the fact that he only had $100,000 bankroll, he went ahead to play the 10K buy-in event. This event typically began the series of gambling practices of this young man, and it also marks the significant beginning of the Phil Galfond net worth. Galfond later revealed in an interview that he would take shots at 300-600 no-limit hold'em when he had only about $700,000 bankroll. At this point, he made up his mind not to go back to college. Phil Galfond is a popular online player and he frequently plays at the high-stakes cash games. His focus is majorly on stakes of 200, 400 and above in no-limit Texas Hold'em and pot-limit Omaha games. He usually plays under the moniker OMG Clay Aiken. He also played at PokerStars and he plays under the screen name of Mr. Sweets 28. No doubt, he had become one of the most successful poker players in online poker history. Explaining his somewhat weird choice of player ID name, the manly young poker champion told pundits that he had wanted to opt for a moniker that would in some way unnerve his opponents. Phil Galfond explained that he felt the decidedly non-macho reference to the popular singer-songwriter who rose to fame in the reality show American Idol, coupled with his girlish acronym OMG, meaning oh my god, would give him the edge, since losing to such a non-alpha male player would likely prove a psychological hurdle to other players. As a result of Black Friday, which took place on 15th April 2011 in the US, Phil Galfond relocated from the United States to Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada in order to continue playing online poker. By February of 2013, the Phil Galfond net worth had reached almost $10 million. Although it might be difficult to state exactly what Phil Galfond net worth is in terms of live cash games, but he has undoubtedly earned millions on this platform also. For one, Phil Galfond is not a flashy kind of guy, so he doesn't live in the limelight and the high side of life. So it's reasonable to technically undermine his earnings, even though it might really be quite high, especially because he plays high-stakes cash games often. According to Phil himself, the big game of Macau with the 2,000-4,000 stakes is too high for him and he might not want to venture into it. This statement would want to imply that his net worth is under $10 million radar, but given the fact that Galfond is such a careful and meticulous player, his decision not to play at the 2K, 4K high-stakes games might not have anything to do with his net worth. Based on the statistics from High Stakes DB, Phil Galfond is the 6th biggest winner of all time among the massive online poker players that are on the website's database. Now, between PokerStars and Full Tilt, Phil Galfond's net worth from online platform is in excess of $6.6 million. This does not account for the additional winnings from Party Poker. Interestingly, Galfond had dominated the sit-and-go tournaments on this platform for a very long time. Phil Galfond's biggest pot ever won at the online platform was of $540,000. This earning came on 19th of January 2009 when he played at 501,000 no-limit mixed games at Full Tilt Poker. His famous $1.6 million winning session was at the game that took place between him and Victor Blom. Phil was offered a sponsorship deal at Full Tilt Poker, but he turned the deal down because according to him, the deal was not so profitable considering the fact that he was already playing nosebleed stakes. Phil Galfond focuses more on pot limit Omaha games than any other poker game right now. Although Phil has a top-of-the-range experience playing downswings, it is interesting to note that he still finds these games quite hard to play. Phil Galfond has also been very successful in the WSOP over his career. While he only cashed 20 times, 3 of those were first place finishes. Overall, he had won a combined $2.8 million between 2006 and 2020. He won his first WSOP bracelet in the year 2008. He beat a 142-player field in the 5,000 pot limit Omaha rebuy event. Because of the rebuys, the prize pool was a lot bigger than the site would suggest. After a total of 485 rebuys, it eventually ballooned to a whopping $3.08 million. Galfond received $817,000 out of that for his first place win. This is his biggest single live tournament payday as of now. His top 11 biggest live cashes on his Hendon Map page are from WSOP events. Galfond has 2 more WSOP bracelets to his name. One from 2015 when he won the 10K 2-7 lowball draw event for $225,000. At the final table of that tournament, he had to battle such big name poker pros like Dan Smith, Eliel Ezra, Eric Seidel, and Nick Schulman, who he eventually beat heads up for the title. His third bracelet came in the year 2018. He won the 10K Omaha High-Low tournament for $568,000. He also came in second in the $25,000 600 NLHE event in 2013 for $745,000. In the year 2008, he started a training website with his business partner Bill Murphy. The site was named Blue Fire Poker, but in 2011, Galfond discontinued his interest in the site after he had a fallout with his partner, Bill Murphy, over some accounting issues. He went ahead to establish RunItOnce.com in the year 2012. He runs the site and also coaches alongside other professional poker players like Hag Dang, Ben Selsky, Sam Grafton, and Brian Rast. In 2017, Phil Galfond posted in one of his blogs that he has not made any money from the RunItOnce platform. He went ahead to reveal that the revenue generated from the site are being used to remunerate a respectable group of coaches working on the site and to reinvest into the business. He also announced the birth of his new project in the same blog, a project referred to as an online poker site. Galfond was also a part of the Ship It Holla Ballas team. It is a so-called crew of young poker players who led a luxurious way of life using money earned with the help of poker. They traveled around the world in search of bright parties, hot girls, and play poker tournaments. Phil Galfond got married to a former soap opera actress, Farah Fath, on 16th of May 2015 at the home of the couple in Las Vegas. He also has a blog, philgalfond.com, where he sometimes publishes long content. He has also written for Bluff magazine, which was in fulfillment of his longtime desire to write. Currently, he is playing the Phil Galfond Challenge, which are heads-up battles with poker pros such as Jungleman, Luke Schwartz, Bill Perkins, and many others. He's doing so because he's bored and wants a new challenge, but also to promote his new poker site and have fun doing it. From his numerous online cash games and live tournaments, Phil Galfond net worth is placed at around $10 million. It is essential to mention that this net worth is from his poker career alone and not from his other investments he might have had since stepping into the world of poker.